Greetings everyone. This video is presented by Nagalakshmi, Neha Srinidhi and Durga Devi from 1st BTech CSE Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Bhimavaram. We are guided by Dr. M. Prasad, PhD, Associate Professor, Department of CSE, Sri Vishnu Engineering College for Women, Bhimavaram. Coming to the contents of the video. In this video, we are going to explore the concept of type conversion and command line arguments. First, we will know what is type conversion and its types, implicit and explicit type conversions with example programs. Then, we will know the complete concept of command line arguments with example programs. Let's get into the video without any further delay.
Type conversion. What is type conversion? It is nothing but the process of converting the value of one data type into another data type. It is also known as typecasting. There are two types of type conversions: implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. Implicit type conversion. Implicit type conversion, also known as automatic type conversion, refers to the automatic conversion of one data type to another by the Python interpreter, which means the Python interpreter itself converts the value of one data type to another data type. Python interpreter always converts the lower data type to the higher data type. Example program. In this example, we took a as an integer and b as a floating point value. So, when we try to print the data types, int and float are printed respectively. Now, we assigned sum of a and b to c and printed the value of c and its data type. Means, here we are trying to add values of two different data types, integer and float. So, we got c is equal to 75.5 and type of c as float. Now we can understand how the Python interpreter does the type conversion. That is, here integer, which is lower data type, got automatically converted into float, which is higher data type.
Explicit type conversion. In explicit type conversion, users converts the data type of an object to required data type. We use the built-in functions like int, float, str, etc. to perform explicit type conversion. Not only this, there are some more built-in functions in Python for explicit type conversion. Here is a table containing built-in functions used for explicit type conversion and their descriptions. For example, int of x converts x into an integer. In the same way, list of x converts x into a list, and similarly the remaining. Now, let us look into some example programs. In the first one, we have taken a as a string and converted explicitly into integer, float, and boolean just by using the built-in functions. Coming to the second one, we took a number as integer and converted it into binary, octal, and hexadecimal strings. In the third one, we took L1 as a string and converted into list, tuple, and set. Whereas in the fourth one, we have considered T1 as a tuple containing key value pairs. And here the dict method converts given tuple into a dictionary of that key value pairs. Finally, in fifth and sixth examples, CHR of number will give us the respect to ASCII characters and ORD of character gives us an integer of that particular character. As here, num1 is equals to 69, therefore CHR of num1 prints E. And as C1 is equals to C, therefore ORD of C1 prints 67 on the screen.
Command line arguments. Command line arguments are the parameters or values passed to a script or a program when it is run from the command line. So that means if we are implementing this command line arguments, we need not write any input function. So we can directly pass the inputs from the command prompt. Python provides various ways of dealing with these types of arguments. The three most common are using sys.argv, using getOut module, and using argpass module. Now, let us know more about the first method, that is using sys.argv. Python provides the sys module to access command line arguments. The sys module provides functions and variables used to manipulate different parts of the Python runtime environment. So, this sys module is used for the processing of inputs from the command prompt. The syntax is very simple. Python space program name.py arg1 arg2. where arg1 and arg2 are the arguments which we pass. All arguments through command prompt will form a list that is argv, and this list will be accessed using sys.argv. Argv is nothing but argument value. So sys.argv returns list object containing command line arguments. Len of sys.argv returns the number of arguments. Generally, elements of argv can be accessed using index, where index starts from 0. Sys.argv of 0 contains name of the script or program, that is file name. Sys.argv of 1 and so on returns arguments. Let's have a look into a basic example program. To execute command line arguments, we have to import the sys module first. In this program, we printed sys.argv of 0, which is the file name. Then we assigned sys.argv of 1 to n. Then we printed int of n plus 1. Now we have to save this program file first. Then open the terminal and give inputs through command line arguments. That is, we have to type python space filename.py space argument, as this is a syntax mentioned before. Here, my file name is add.py, so I entered python space add.py space 15. I got add.py and 16 as outputs as expected. Let's go some more deep into the concept of command line arguments by taking an example program for adding two numbers through command line arguments. First, as usual, I imported the sys module, then I printed sys.argv of 0, which prints the file name. I assigned all arguments to k, that is, k will be a list of arguments passed. Then I printed type of k, which gives us the data type of k, and in the next line, I printed the value of k, which prints the list of arguments we passed. I initialized sum to 0. Then I took a for loop which iterates over each element in k. In the for loop, I did addition as sum is equal to sum plus int of I. There is a reason why I have done explicit type conversion, that is int of I, as because the data type of I is a string and we can't add a string and an integer because sum is an integer. So I converted string into integer and then added it to sum. Finally, I printed the sum value. As I already said before, we have to save this program first and then go to terminal. Now, in the terminal, I gave inputs as python space add numbers.py space 10 space 20. Here, my program name is add numbers.py and my arguments which I passed are 10, 20. So I got the outputs as add numbers.py, which is my file name, class list, which is the data type of k, and 10, 20, which is a list that is k. Then finally, the sum 30 is printed on the screen. I verified with another example, python space add.py space 15 space 15. I got the sum 30. And this is a perfect example to cover all basic concepts in command line arguments. Thank you for watching.